Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Rhyme of the Times for the weekend in 20th of April 2024. Israel respond to Iran's pile of projectiles by lobbing back their own missiles, and things remain febrile with a truth that's fragile. Some Tories are riled, but their rebellion is futile as the smoking ban wins the vote by a mile and Rishi's all smiles. But he'll have to go the extra mile to get the Lords to reconcile the Rwanda Bill that many think is vile. Rayner, in typical style, gives a defiant denial as the police open a file while the MP for Fylde is in Tory exile after the party had a report compiled. Murrell may go on trial. For several months, Gaza's been on its last legs, food and medical supplies down to their last dregs. But focus on that this week was forsaken by thoughts of what Israeli action might be taken after the missiles and drones Iran had unleashed, though most were intercepted or didn't even reach. In fact, it seems just 7 missiles got through, although they will have angered Netanyahu, because most of those struck the Never Team Air Base, from where this tit-for-tat began in the first place. It was telling that the West was telling Israel that they had won the argument and Iran had failed. These diplomatic efforts in the end prevailed, going by how Israel's response was curtailed. Their retribution turned out to be a damp squib. Friday's raid was barely a poke in the ribs. A few fires and flashes in Isfahan, a military and nuclear nerve centre in Iran. So the West gave out a huge sigh of relief as Iran appeared to have suffered little grief, while the hawks in the Knesset were in disbelief at a response so brief and lacking in beef. Netanyahu had managed to tread the fine line between calming things down while showing some spine. Meanwhile, Britain's PM is searching for a legacy before he ends his Downing Street tenancy. That's how it seems, and his noble endeavour could be to rid the UK of smoking forever. Our nicotine addiction forevermore severed, but many Tories think the plan isn't clever. It's popular with the country and most opposition MPs. In fact, it's only his own party that isn't best pleased. The smoking age will now be raised 1 year at a time until one day the habit will become a national crime. But the freethinkers see it as too nanny state, while pragmatists can't see how it will operate. While his name may be immortalised for years to come, Rishi Sunak certainly hasn't pleased everyone. 61 Tories had smoke coming out of their ears over smoking being smoked out over 90 plus years. From stopping the smoke to stopping the boats, Sunak's trying every which way to increase his votes. This week, more ping-pong between the Commons and Lords as the Rwanda Bill struggles to get all on board. The Labour Lords and a few crossbenchers were still cross that some parts were too contentious. In fact, they think the whole bill's just plain wrong, and so the ping-pong's prolonged on and on. Sent back to the Commons with amendments suggested the Tory majority ensure they're rejected, so back to the Lords to be once more inspected where more filibustering is detected. Rishi's tearing his hair out and finally snapping. Come what may, he was going to make this bill happen. He issued a diktat like a father to a son. We will sit there on Monday and vote till it's done. It was yet another week of political scandal as 3 different parties tried to get a handle on how to make some fairly tough decisions on what to do about errant politicians. Angela Rayner's issues have bubbled for a while, but police, it seems, have now opened a file. It concerns a house she sold some time ago, making a profit of 48 grand or so. As a main residence, that profit was tax-free, but if it was a second home, there should be CGT. She said she lived there, but that is disputed. Claims that she lived elsewhere, she's refuted. Electoral law may have also been transgressed if her poll card was showing the wrong address. The Deputy Labour leader has remained defiant, but also promised to be compliant. I am confident I have done the right thing at all times. I will resign as an MP if I've committed a crime. For Angela Rayner, if she wants to maintain her reputation as a moral campaigner, she knows that paying taxes is a no-brainer. She must follow rules, and who can blame her? Because the police will shame her and not entertain her if she explains herself with dodgy disclaimers. For one who has criticised so many so hard, she won't want to be hoisted with her own petard. Her squeaky clean past means a squeaky bum present as her enemies line up to make things unpleasant. Meanwhile, for Mark Menzies, it was more cut and dried, although the allegations against him he had denied, but a Times investigation had him ambushed and he appeared to jump before he was pushed. The Conservative Party had internally compiled an investigation on their MP for Fylde. A pattern of poor behaviour caused them concern, though misuse of party funds could not be confirmed. But to swerve another of those press-feeding frenzies, they were happy to see the back of Mark Menzies. And so to the third of the troublesome three, the former CEO of the SNP. A year ago, Peter Murrell was surprisingly seized, questioned at length, then released by police. On Thursday, it was a case of déjà vu, except the force this time changed their point of view. Nicola Sturgeon's hubby was formally accused of being responsible for Murrell being misused. The plebs again left bemused, confused, and not amused.